What is up, guys? Welcome back to Truth About Him podcast, number one podcast on men's health and wellness. I'm Anthony.
Baron.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome to another week of the podcast. We are here and we are ready to go.
Let's get it.
Right?
Let's get it.
So how was the week for you?
A lot of meticulous. Have you ever had to not worry about, but try to do a lot of little things and you just feel like, damn, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of little stuff. So I've just been having to focus on a lot of little things. And man, it's like, yeah, your eyes hurt. You start focusing. Yeah, but it keeps you sharp though. I like that. Like,
right.
it keeps you sharp. It keeps you keep moving forward. So, and you can constantly see the progression. So, yeah, just focusing on meticulous small things this week and seeing growth. How's your week?
We good. I had a good week. Just really staying focused on the prize. You know, I was good until this Celtic Green walked in, but then you corrected me and you said it was Money Green.
It's Money
but
Green. Yes. Speaking as it was,
we're kind of coordinating though.
Yeah, see,
you notice a little bit.
Great minds.
Great minds.
So
right?
it's something about green
Right.
today.
All right. So today's topic is an interesting one.
Interesting topic.
And it's about our nice guys week.
Yep.
Our nice guys week.
Nice guys week.
Now, the first question I have is like, what is the definition of a nice guy?
That's right. Because it's subjective.
It's subjective.
It's subjective. Like, history plays a part in your definition. Yeah. I think.
What's yours?
A nice guy is considerate, empathetic.
Okay.
He can understand outside of himself. I can understand how you feel by, placing myself in your shoes. I think of the needs of others before I think of the needs of myself. So those are some things that I deem as a nice guy. But there are differences. As a nice guy, do I set boundaries for myself? Do I have a bottom line? Do I have non-negotiables, basically, Because some guys, if we're talking about, let's say, relationships, and these nice guys, they get into relationships and they kind of lose themselves. Even if we're talking about guys, so we're just going to stick to that one, but they'll lose themselves. Without setting boundaries, without knowing who they are, they lose themselves and their partner, and thus becoming a pushover.
How do you lose yourself?
By whatever your non-negotiables were. Like, I think we should all have a baseline of who we are, things that we will do, things that we will not do, things that are just like out of our realm, or things that we're just not going to do. When you ignore those things and you, at the sake of a partner, for the sake of your partner, what are you willing? What are your non-negotiables? Who are you?
Yeah.
So make sure you don't lose that.
Yeah. There's this book titled No More Mr. Nice Guy. It talks about how nice guys finish last, nice guys are considered weak, and I'm of the opinion that, I don't think that nice guys should finish last or should be considered weak, but in our society, I believe they do. I believe that nice guys are taken advantage of. I believe that nice guys are considered weak. And I don't know why.
That was my next question.
Right. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think we live in a society where it's a tit for tat. If something is done eye for an eye, if you do to me, I'm gonna do to you. If you act this way, I'm act the same way. I understand how you can reciprocate energy, but I believe that we are in I coin this phrase revenge culture, or we have to get you back for what you did to me, or I can't show weakness. I can't be the person that really turns the other cheek when you say fuck me. I say I love you, right? I think that's considered weakness. In my journey of walking and healing and going through my own stuff, I realized that if you have the talent to turn the other cheek, it's a gift, because really you're more worried about you and how you feel and your energy and your aura and your life versus somebody else's.
True.
All right.
Yep.
So the goal for me is to always be at peace in what I do, right? And not always anymore try and get revenge or have someone prove to someone that I'm big and I'm tough and I'm not scared and I'm going to bite back. I'm not talking about protecting yourself. I'm just talking about being someone that you're not in order to make someone think that you're not scared or you're not tough.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that's crystal clear because you're not. It's that authenticity. Like you're losing your authenticity of who you are. So me and my wife have this this mantra / like mindset of ours where if it doesn't cross our threshold of our front door, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
We have had people talk behind our backs. We've had people lie on us.
Yeah.
We've had all of that. And we don't retaliate. I take it as information. Like I know who you truly are. And so now that I know who you truly are, it's up to me to fuck with you or not.
Right.
I choose not to.
Right.
Because I don't like giving my energy away unnecessarily. We always have this thing where in our household we say save your energy for the big shit.
Right.
Save your energy for the big shit. If you start reacting to every little thing about people that say things about you, if you start reacting to giving your energy to these people, you know how this is. We just had this experience with somebody. Like I just don't give energy.
Negro, please.
I won't give energy to that. I will not give energy to that because it does not deserve our energy and it does not deserve our time. So that's the mindset that we have, and I think that we're still kind. I consider us kind gentlemen. But just as intent as I am on being kind, I'm just as intent, if not even more, on my boundaries. Like I have boundaries, and it's up to me to let people inside of those boundaries or not.
So, are boundaries and being weak, are they the same? Because I'm seeing them as a bit different. So over the last few years that I've heard is that, let's talk about women, right? So women like bad boys, right? They like the bad guy, but the guys who are nice and who are considerate are the ones that they don't go for. Now, speaking for myself, I don't think that I'm a bad boy, right? I don't think that whatever a bad boy is, I don't know, right? Whatever it is. So the bad boy image that's out there, I don't believe that that's me, right? On the flip side of that, can I say I'm a super nice guy? I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? Yeah.
Definitely. I'm gonna say yeah.
Yep.
But then again, I don't see myself having problems out there in the world communicating and talking and being around the opposite sex with it being a turnoff, right? So I get that nice guys are considered weak, but I don't experience that. So and maybe it's because how I carry myself. I don't know.
I can tell you why.
Right. Tell me why.
Because so women, like you said, bad boys.
Right.
Bad boys, I think, are assertive.
Okay.
Bad boys are we are decisive. I would say decisive.
He said we are.
Yeah.
He said we.
Bad boys. All right, that was
Claim
a
it.
Freudian slip.
Claim it.
But bad boys are decisive. They are,
Okay.
They are.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
In that respect, okay.
So
it's like an honorable type bad boy.
Right.
I got
So a nice guy can be a nice guy. So there's two types of nice guys. Remember, we just talked about the pushover, and then the nice guy. The pushover, the conversation between he and his girl are gonna go like this. The girl to the pushover. What do you want to have? Let's go out to dinner. What do you want to have for dinner? Oh, I don't know, babe. Whatever you want. Whatever you like. Whatever you want, babe. Whatever. Instead of saying the opposite, like, okay, what do you want to eat? Well, I have a taste for Chinese food. Let's go to this Chinese restaurant that I've been looking at. Let's go there. And she's gonna do one or two things. She's going to go with that and say, yeah, let's try that. or she's going to give pushback. I don't want Chinese food. I just had that for lunch, or I just had that yesterday.
Right.
So I don't want Chinese food. What else can we do? And then, it's going to go down that rabbit hole, but he's not going to be a pushover and super submissive. Now, there can be some conversations about where we can go and stuff like that, but it's a conversation. It's
This
a back
is
and
this
forth.
the bad boy or nice guy?
This is the nice guy that's not a pushover.
Okay.
The nice guy that's a pushover is just going to cower and say whatever you want, we'll go wherever you feel like eating. Instead of the nice guy, I'll put it like this: when you have went out to dinner, how did those conversations go?
So in the beginning of my,
I'm so curious to get the answer too.
in the beginning of my man journey,
Mm-hmm.
I was that type. You know what? Whatever you want, it's up to you. And I think sometimes that's okay to give options, but like now, and like the past 10 years, my thing is like, okay, if I'm with you, I pretty much know what you like, right? So we're going here at this time. This is what we're doing, and they're like, okay, because what I've learned, and it's crazy. What I've learned is like women like men who are decisive, who make plans and say we're doing this at this time. And when I started doing that really opened me up to being more exposed, or getting, what's the right word I'm looking for? I don't know the right word, but it just, it made me more desirable, right, to the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Right, because we're decisive, we're making decisions, and we're saying, you know what, this is what it's going to be. So, and I think now that I'm listening to what you're saying about the bad boy, I guess there can be two types, right? The kind that go out there and rob banks and shoot them up and do this and do that, or jailbirds,
in and out, yeah.
or the ones who can make decisions and be decisive and not compromise on their boundaries, not compromise on who they are, and not give up who they are to appease someone else. Now,
Correct.
I'm not saying don't compromise.
Right, because you can grow. Like
Right.
you can grow together. Like we're not complete human beings.
Correct.
So whatever relationships, whether they are professional or personal, there has to be some ability to grow
Right.
in those relationships. So if you know this and you go into that, then yeah, you're gonna go into this relationship as a now I'm a loss for word, as a asset, not a liability.
Okay.
You're going to go into it as a co-pilot, not a passenger.
Okay.
So you're going to say, yeah, I want to go here, let's go here. But then that's when the conversation starts, where, you start knowing your partner, and like maybe you want Chinese food, but maybe your partner has a peanut allergy that you never knew about it.
Right.
And, now that so okay, then we won't do Chinese food or anything that has, peanut allergies or anything in it. So look at what's going on here. We're conversing, we're learning about each other, and I'm still being decisive. I'm still being, okay, so I know for the future, this is what I'm not going to do, because I know this thing, I realize this thing about you. That goes both ways.
Right.
But I do think women honor a man that is decisive. I think they truly honor a man that says, and makes appointments and sets the tone of the room, so to speak, as opposed to, just a follower or a passenger that's willing to go wherever the pilot takes them.
Yeah.
When you get on a plane, you just don't get on any plane.
Mm-hmm.
You get on a plane to take you to your desired destination, or at least get you halfway there. You get off that plane and get on another plane. So you don't just get on a plane that's going to New York when you're trying to go to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. So you got to say what you're willing to, you got to set the tone. You have to come into a relationship with who you are baseline, and then they're going to come into that relationship with a who they are baseline, and then you guys learn how to merge and weave that together. So that's all part of relationship. That's all part of growth.
Yeah, and I really like what you said about how you come in with the who you are. They come in with who they are. Because I think people have a lot of like preconceived notions or saying that, I'm not going to do a certain thing by being with someone. There is no perfect person,
No,
right?
no.
At all. And I think when you have I think you should have certain criterias, but be open to exploring like who a person is, exploring their life, exploring how they move, how they operate, just exploring them. Because
You're learning.
you're learning.
Yep.
So when you do that, so I believe that when you come in with no expectations, and you see someone's lifestyle, okay, this is their lifestyle. I'm not used to it, but I'm open to exploring and seeing what can happen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
My lifestyle may be something that they're not used to. Right. I may be a different type of dude. Right. And I am. But I
Pat on the back, little pat on the back. And I am.
right. I can be someone that you're not used to having the experience with, right? Because I can admit, and I admit on open forum, I'm a very unique dude, right? And I'm not for everybody, you know.
Now, what's the difference between what you said and someone saying, "Oh, damn, he's arrogant"?
You asked me that.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Okay.
Because I'm about to co-sign.
Ask
I'm
me
about to
again.
co-sign.
Ask me again. Go ahead.
What's the difference between what you said and someone saying, "Well, damn, that's arrogant. He's arrogant."
So for me, it's difference between being confident and being arrogant, right?
Facts.
Arrogance is that I'm better than you, right? Confidence is I know who I am. I've worked so hard to get here, and I'm going to appreciate who I am. I'm not better than you. I just know who I am, right? I know how I'm built, and it took me a very, very long time to realize who I am, right? It took me a very, very long time to be confident. It took me a long time to know the value that I bring to this world, not just to the whole world, even to myself. It took me a long time, and now that I realize that, it's something that I'm not willing to let go of anymore. I'm holding it, and that's how I know that I am not for everybody, and everybody cannot handle. Again, full disclosure, I'm a very. Why are you laughing?
Listen, go ahead, bro.
I am a very, very intense dude, right? I know exactly what I want, right? I know exactly what's for me. And there's certain things that I'm not willing to compromise on, right? Before I would hang around, I would linger and say, maybe something will change, but now I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that anymore because the value that I have for myself supersedes how you see me or how you think that I can move. Right.
Yep.
So that's why I think I'm by far not arrogant because I'm not better than nobody. Right. The only person I'm better than is the man I was 5 years ago. That's it. But as far as everybody else, I'm not. I'm just really confident, and I know who I am. So I forgot where I was going with this before you sidetracked me, but
Well, you were just you were saying how unique you are, and if they don't like it, that's a problem for them to have, and that's a them problem.
yeah,
That's what you were
you
saying.
know what? And it's not about not liking it because I think you can still like me, but I just don't fit into your life, right? And you don't fit into mine. So there's no dislike because I think when you dislike someone or something or a circumstance, it creates a negative energy, not just between you and them, but out there in the world. So as you operate and walk around, you walk around this negative energy, and then that disrupts what you're doing. So my thing is that everybody that I come across have relationship with, I want them to leave with to the best of my ability. It may not always work. I want them to leave with a positive image of Anthony. Right. It didn't work out, but it ended fine. Okay. There's no gloom and doom. There's no hard feeling. There's no bad energy. Right. That's what I want. Does it always happen? No. But that's my intention.
Your intention. I was about to say those are your intentions.
That's my intention. And because I came from a place where, just growing up, from a kid up until an adult, that there was a lot of negativity, right? And most of it was self-imposed, right? Because I exposed myself to things that I shouldn't have. So I built this life of lack, right? This life of, I don't have, I need, and that caused negativity in my life. So now it's so now it's just different. So, I want to always leave an experience, whether it works out or not, with something positive, right? I can say that I can look back at all my life up until now that everybody that I've been in a relationship with, whether it's business, whether it's friendship, whether it's relational, romantically, I've learned something from everybody.
Right.
Everybody has made me a better person. You've been in my life, even though it didn't work out, it made me better. So, because I can look back and say, oh, wow, you know what? This is what I learned. Right. So that's where I am now with that.
And I think that's growth. And I think that is, for lack of a better word, I know we're talking about nice guys and how it relates to weakness, but I think that is one of the smartest things a person can ever do is to know who they are, where they are in life, know their faults, but more importantly, know their gifts and cultivate those things. And if that's considered weak, then I don't even need that person around me because that person doesn't even need to be around me. Honestly, do you really care? I know the answer to this, but I'll ask it. Do you really care what people think about you if they don't know you per se? Like, let's just say somebody, we're in the gym and somebody sees you, we'll just say you specifically, and they're like, oh, he looks arrogant. He looks mean. He looks arrogant. He comes in here. He doesn't speak. He all of these negative connotations. Don't know you from a can of paint. And then they start spreading that throughout the gym. Do you really care?
So I'm gonna probably give you an answer that you're not expecting.
Oh shit.
So
my teeth.
So I think for the most part, when people say that they don't care what someone says about them, it's a lie. I think everyone cares, but most people like me, I care, but it won't stop me from doing and moving forward what I got to do. It won't. I care, but it won't
affect you.
Affect me. It won't discourage me. It won't make me sad or upset. Yeah, I care because my personality type, I'm a natural empath, right? So I do care about other people and how they feel, and I'm working on that. It's not all bad, but it's my greatest superpower and my greatest weakness at the same time, right?
Got you.
So I definitely care about what people think about me, but if it's negative, it doesn't affect how I move. It doesn't affect my energy, doesn't affect my mood, right?
I agree with that, but I never looked at it that way. I look at it from I want to know who you truly are. So now that I know, like, if I put myself and answer that question, I would want to know who said it. And not for a confrontation or anything like that. I just want to know because that's how you view me. Right. So now I want to, how we always say application of knowledge. So now I've gained this information, and there's certain things that of course, I'm going to remove myself from that situation. But now I know who you truly are, or how you think of me. There goes that interaction. There goes that, whatever I was going to say to this person, it will no longer be said because whatever I say, your opinion of me has already been skewed because you've based it on something without even conversing or talking to me. So I would like to know what the temperature in the room is, so to speak.
It's funny that you bring up that gym analogy. If someone says something about you in the gym, how does that make you feel, right? So the answer I gave is like, yeah, you know what, I care, but it really won't bother me. I won't do anything about it. But that could be seen as weak because what the expectation is that, oh, Baron, this dude's talking about you. You better go confront him right now, right? That's the expectation, right? Even though those words are not used, but
the tone could imply that.
I'm telling you because I need you to, your name's actually stated. You need to go confront this dude. And my thing is like, why?
Right.
What's
that going to do?
Like, what's that going to do? We're going to be two guys in the gym with our chests poked out, which doesn't solve anything, right?
Nope.
You're upset. I'm upset. Now what?
Right.
Now what? And I tell people all the time, it's easy to have conflict. It's easy to have a fight. It's easy to throw a punch. That's easy. what's not easy is to sit down and have a conversation on why you feel the way you feel. What happened?
Right.
Okay, I did something to you. Let's talk about it. That can be seen as weak, but that's the most powerful thing that you can do as a man, as a human, is to have a communication with somebody about how they think, or if you did offend them, right? Because you want to talk and get it out.
Yep.
If
Especially
you,
men.
especially men.
Yep.
If you go in, chest out, puffed out, fighting, nothing will ever get resolved, right? Nothing. As a man, I think the only reason that you should be fighting if you're protecting yourself and your family.
True.
That's about it,
True.
right? Other than that, you use this thing that God gave you. You use this and use this, because that's the smartest, most productive way to resolve anything. Because honestly, when someone's upset, they're just hurt.
That's it. And they want to be heard.
They're hurt and want to be heard.
Yep.
So say that, you know what, bro, you're upset. Okay, tell me why. What you mean why?
Right.
Okay, no.
I'll wait.
Let's talk about it.
Yep.
You want to talk about it?
We could talk about it. And they all some guys, now your bad boys and your tough guys, they're gonna take that as, oh, you meet me outside. We could no, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Like if I wanted to throw hands, I could say, let's go outside and throw hands.
Right.
And then whatever happens after that happens after that.
We ain't throwing hands. As long as you don't touch me,
That's
good.
my thing. Just don't touch me.
We're good.
Don't touch me. You can say whatever you want. Just don't touch me, and don't do no spitting and all of that.
Bro,
Don't do that.
if I smell your breath, if I hit sprinkles, you're too close.
They're too close. Bro. Like step back. Step back. Like don't. That's a trigger for most men.
Right,
Like
right.
you can say whatever you want. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
And respectfully, I respect that. Like
Yeah.
we can have a conversation. Like let's have a conversation about this and see if we can resolve this or not. Or not.
Or not.
We don't have to resolve
That's
it, but
good.
at least
You're
we
right.
tried.
Right.
And as men, we weren't I didn't disrespect you. I didn't call you all kind of names and stuff like that, because as men, we got to honor that. Like, do you want somebody to call, just a random call you some bitch ass nigga? Like, you don't want that.
Nah.
So why, if I don't want that for myself, why would I do that to somebody else?
Right.
That's where I think that when we're having conversations and trying to get an understanding between us as men, we have to start to think like that. Like, you don't want nobody in your face. You don't want to feel nobody's breath on your face.
Clothes all dirty and ripped up.
Right. You don't want that. You gotta.
I pay a lot of money for these clothes.
I got shit to do. How about that?
That part.
I got shit to do. I got
And
meetings.
so do you.
And you probably got something you got to do
Right.
too, even if it ain't nothing but. Nah, I'm being mean. I'm being mean. Sitting up watching playing your PlayStation or something, but you got something to do
Right.
after this. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to mess your day up.
Right.
But let's come to the understanding of, let's see if we can figure this out, or not, and go from there. Like, I don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to be friends.
Right.
We don't. But I can respect you and be respectful enough
Right.
as a man and say, I don't fuck with him
Yep.
because of X, Y, Z.
I've done that so many times.
And
you
that's
have your
just
point of
what it
view.
is.
I have
Yeah.
my point of view. We disagree.
Yeah.
You know what?
No disrespect, but and I won't, and I'm not gonna say anything slick to somebody else about you
Yeah.
that you haven't heard me say to you already. I pride myself on that. Like, I talk a lot of shit,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to you're not going to hear nothing from somebody on the street that I said about you.
Yeah.
Unless I've already said it to you first. You're like, oh, we talked about that already. Like, we already talked about that. Oh, y'all did? Because that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
People have went to other people and saying things like, well, Baron said X, Y, Z about you. And they're like, yeah, we talked about that. We had a conversation about that last week. You just now telling me.
Yeah.
So
Trying to start some shit.
yeah, trying to start some shit. So
I was in a meeting. This was maybe a year or two ago, and it was a mentor of mine. He asked me to tag along because someone that he was in conflict with, they were meeting to talk about the conflict, right? And the person that we were meeting, he was just talking so much negativity, so much really bad mouthing and trying to really defame my mentor, right? It was bad. My mentor has this massive following, and reaching out to his following, saying what a horrible person he was. So we get to the meeting, and I'm in listen mode. There's a witness, and they're going back and forth, back and forth. My mentor is talking, and the other guy is just spewing, just like this, and just really saying some horrible things in person, right? My mentor stands up and says, "You know what? I'm done. Have a great life. Bye bye." Shook his hand and walked away. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was so impressive because most men, the words that were being spoken to him were fighting words, words that could make you go to blows. I mean, he wasn't facing anything; they're across the table, but just the fact that
very disrespectful,
and he had the intelligence and the restraint and the patience. It's like, you know what, this is not working, right? How we're talking is not working. So you know what? I heard you. I'm done. Shook his hand. You have a great life. And Anthony, let's go. And walked out and hasn't talked to him since.
Yep.
That could be in today's society, that's considered weak.
That's crazy.
Right? Extremely powerful.
Yep.
Right? Because what does it take? How much self-awareness does it take for you to do that? How much have you known about who you are for you to do that? Most people jump to conclusions and jump to fighting and jump to anger because they have no idea who they are.
Facts.
Right?
Yep.
I don't know who I am, so I'm going to manufacture this tough person to give you this image of who I think I am. But that's not you.
Right.
Right?
And I'm trying to prove myself.
I'm trying to prove myself. To who?
Right. And if it's not you, what are you trying to prove?
To who?
Yep.
If you know exactly who you are, you have nothing to freaking prove. I'm saying it again. If you know who you are, you have nothing to fucking prove, like at all, right? So that was a powerful lesson for me because it's like, you know what? I have to sit back and learn more about myself. I got to learn who I am. I got to become that powerful that nothing, even though this person is spewing so much vile crap about me, I am so confident in who I am. I'm just not going to fuck with you no more. Respectfully.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not. And I think more men need to move that way because sometimes we think that person that's in our life, they bring so much value, we won't be able to find it again.
Right.
I used to think that, right? I can't let go of this because this person has so much value in my life and I can't find anything else. But that's such a limiting belief in you and who you are, right? If you pride yourself and you walk in a way where you're a high value ass man, there's nothing in your life that cannot be replaced. Yeah, you may miss it. Yeah, you may have a period of being sad, but that's okay. It's okay for you to miss things that were important in your life. It's okay for you to miss things that have been there for a while. But know that every single thing that you lost as a man is replaceable, and you have to know that. And once you do that, that creates so much power in yourself.
Creates a lot of power in yourself, and then for your, like you just saying, for your mentor to get up and shake this man's hand, that was he knew who he was internally.
Right.
B, he came from a place of inner peace. Like, I'm not going to respond the way you're responding. I'm not gonna respond that way because you're yelling at me. Okay, so I'm gonna yell at you. And you're going to yell at me more, and then I'm going to yell at you now.
Nobody's heard.
Nobody's heard. You can't hear anything. Yeah. But if I let you spew all of that bullshit out, right? I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it affecting me because it's not me because I know who I am. Yeah. So go ahead and get it all out. But when it's all said and done, again, your mentor set a baseline for himself. Yeah. So he's big on respect, and he's big on not being disrespected. So as soon as I see the disrespect, then I have to remove myself because I'm not allowing myself to be around any negativity. I'm not allowing myself to be around anything that is not productive or that affects my peace.
Right.
A simple way my mentor, he always tells me, if it costs you your inner peace, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
So let it go.
Yeah.
So and that's how I rate things. Like, if I don't care what it is, if it's something I choose not to do, hey, bro, I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not doing it, because the word no doesn't require an explanation.
It does not.
I don't have to tell you why.
Yeah.
It's just not, it just doesn't go. It's not for me. And we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
So what a powerful message it was to that gentleman that was being,
A dick.
okay. Yeah. I was looking for another word, but yeah, being a dick, because that's all he knew. That's probably the highest level of effective communication that he could do. And 10 times out of 10, he was probably intimidated.
Definitely.
He was probably intimidated. So what did he have to do? Had to buck my chest up. I
I'll
had to
tell you
get loud.
My mentor is 6. It's like 6'1". This was like 5'6".
Yeah.
You know, smaller guy. You know,
Was he by himself?
He was by himself.
And he came with you.
Came with me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this story I heard, and so a lot of times we can be perceived or we can feel weak because we're not fulfilled. We can feel weak because we're not fulfilled. Example: whenever you know, when you met your wife, you know, whenever we meet someone that we're going to be with, right? The first question is, oh, what are you looking for in a mate, right? Oh, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, I'm looking for blah, 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 right? You're looking for that stuff because you're lacking it, right? And I learned that a person that loves himself, a person that knows himself, a person who's went through some healing, if they ask, hey, Anthony, what are you looking for in a woman? Absolutely nothing, right? Because everything that I'm looking for, I can give myself. Right. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be you, and then I will decide based off that if I want you in my life or not. But I don't want anything from you, because I can give myself all of that. Right. And I think if you look at things from that standpoint, then you begin to weed out the bullshit in a sense.
Yeah.
Right. You begin to, attract people at a higher level, because you know what? I like you. You're cool. I can potentially love you, but I don't need anything from you because I can give it to myself.
Right.
And that's something that most people don't do. Most people have this list of everything they want, from their partner.
Right.
I want all these things. One thing is that list you have. Are you that list? Have you achieved everything on that list?
Right.
If not, pause. You have to become the list you want in order for you to get the person that you want.
Right. Yep.
And then at that, you shouldn't expect anything from anybody, because you have to be able to give it to yourself.
And why would you give someone that much power over the results of your life? So
Right.
you're saying, like, I want X, Y, Z, but you don't have it internally. So if you don't have it internally, sweetheart, you're never going to have it. You're never going to have it. And what happens when this person realizes that it's draining being in a relationship with you? It's draining. It's draining always having to be the one to make all this. It's draining to be the one to always have to cater to your feelings. It's draining. Yeah. And so when that person finally gets drained and decides to, like, I've had enough. You're not reinvesting. You're not reciprocating anything. I can only give out so much before the bank account is empty. So I'm out.
Yeah.
So now what happens to this person that needed this person? I need somebody to be 6 figures. I need somebody to have, their shit together, know what they want in life, 2 cars, loves me for who I am, doesn't judge me, is patient with me, and all of this stuff. And then when that person finally leaves, so now you're not happy because the person that validated you is no longer there to validate you. So now who's there to validate you?
Right.
How about look in the fucking mirror?
Right.
Go look in the mirror. Because if you don't have these, and I had a client that I dealt with, and he was down on his luck, just feeling some kind of way, and he just wasn't happy in life. And I asked him, I said, what would make you happy? And he started giving me a list of, I got this car that I want. I'm saving up to get that. Once I get my house renovated, I'll be happy. And then once I get this particular job that I'm looking for, then I'll be happy.
Right.
I'm like, but what if that never comes?
Right.
What if you never get the car that you want, the house that you want, or the job? What if you get passed over from whatever, somebody more qualified or what have you? Why are you letting your happiness be predicated on so many external things? You can't give so much power to. If you want happiness, you have to. It's a choice.
Right.
Just like being kind as a man is a choice, but the world is so cynical that they look at, oh, he must want something from me because he's nice, because he opened the door for me. He must want something from me because
that's arrogance.
So being kind doesn't have to come with an ulterior motive. You don't have to have empathy for someone and make sure that they, get into the door safely, or you open the door, or hold the elevator. There's no ulterior motives there. There's just someone being kind for someone else. Someone who happens to be a male is being empathetic to someone else who happens to be a female. Because why? Maybe that's how I want my mother to be treated. That's how I want my daughter to be treated. That's how I want, my significant other to be treated. So yes, I'm going to hold the elevator for you.
I think a lot of times, I can say most of the time there are some ulterior motives. So I'm gonna come to the defense of the females right now, right? In a sense, because I've seen guys, do things nice, hold a door, smile, say hi, but their goal is to try and talk to that woman, right? Okay. They run behind her, hey, what's up? So I've seen that.
But if that is would they prefer that, or would they prefer, hey, come over here, let me holler at you?
I think it comes with both. I think that the door is open, because I've seen the door open, and then that's been the dialogue. Hey, I've seen that. I used to go to this gas station to get gas every day. I'll take my kids to get snacks there every day. And there was this lady who works there, Hispanic lady, and her face was just always just frowned up and mean, and just like matter of fact, I'm just doing my job. That's it, right? No matter who walked in, I'm in there, I'm nice, I say hi, whatever, right? She's matter of fact. So one day I saw her at Costco with her family, completely different, smiling, bright, bubbly, and I'm like, I stopped. I'm like, hey, you work at Circle K, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you look totally different. At work, you look mean. She's like, yeah, I know, but it's always people trying to get at me and hit on me and be rude, and I just have to protect myself.
That's her defense mechanism.
That's her defense mechanism. But it's like totally different. So I'm like, so I can understand how sometimes that's a necessity, but you have to realize how that affects your energy, affects you, affects your body. Because she looked old in that store. When she was out, looked totally different. But that can become your narrative, and that can become who you are with every single person that comes into your presence, whether they're trying to highlight you or not. Because again, not every guy is trying to highlight you. Not every guy. Right. Back in the day, I was in the local Winco store, and I saw a girl from church. Right. I said hi. She was like, I'm like, you go to my church, don't trip. You know what? I'm not trying to get at you at all. Right. And that to me is like, I mean, if I'm just saying, hey, how you doing? That's it, and walking away. Right. You should not think anything else. If I was following you around the store trying, where's the milk and where's that part? Yeah. But I mean, I just said hi. And if you are, I'm like, I get it. You cool. You ain't bad. Right. I get it, but don't think I'm trying to get with you.
Everybody not trying to holler.
I'm not.
Yeah, but that could be based on previous experiences, previous traumas that she may have experienced in her life, and now she's like defense mechanism. Every guy's trying to holler at me because multiple guys have tried to holler at me before. That's fine, but if we can't communicate like how you communicated with the lady at Circle K, you would have never known. No. If you didn't communicate that. So we're all gonna have preconceived notions.
So I am a introvert living in an extrovert world, right? So I had to learn that, I got to talk to people even when I don't want to,
Yeah.
right? So I talk to people.
Yeah.
I say hi. I crack jokes. I mean, that's just who I am.
Right.
That's just who I had to learn to be because of the nature of the business that I'm in, right? So
say that, yeah.
if I'm out there and I'm just having a casual conversation, it's like, but I have to work on this, right? I'm still
Self-aware.
I'm still learning. Right? I can open a door for a woman. If she don't say thank you, that triggers me. I didn't have to do this shit.
Okay.
Because I know I'm not doing it for them, right?
Right.
I'm doing it because that's who I am.
That's who
right?
you are,
But
right.
again, I'm human.
Right.
I'm working on my flaws, right?
I mean, a thank you would be
Yeah,
nice.
I'm like,
yeah.
you didn't say thank you. I'm like,
Rude chick.
I saw a video one time where this dude opened the door for a lady. She didn't say thank you. He went and grabbed her, took her back out, and closed the door.
Close the door. Well, that myth
hilarious.
of chivalry, people will say is chivalry dead.
Right.
And people will say yes because women killed it.
Right. Yes, because
they say women killed it.
Yeah.
So, not all women. I mean, women,
Not all.
I
Yeah,
can't
you're right.
I can't remember the last time I've held the elevator for someone or opened the door for someone and they didn't say thank you.
Right.
They say thank you. Now what I do, because of how you do when you hold the door open when they think you're trying to holler, I just open the door and I'll,
Yeah.
look the
You
other
should-
way.
you should
'cause
have
I'm
to
not
do
trying
that,
I shouldn't
right?
have to do
You
that,
have to
right?
do that.
I shouldn't have to do that. And they're like, "Oh, thank you. No worries. No problem. You're welcome."
But that's so much in me, and I didn't tell you this, but I felt bad last week, right, when we were together, right? It's because like being a gentleman and being a man is something that I've grown to become accustomed to, right?
Right.
Open the door for a lady and I walk in. We were at the Apple store, right?
I know exactly what
We
you
were
want. I know
we
exactly
were
what you're
walking
about to say.
out, and you're behind me, right? We're
Yeah.
walking out.
That was this week, Fi. That was Monday.
That was Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
That was Monday.
That was Monday. A man and lady are walking in. He opens the door for her. I walk out first before she walks in, and then you wait until she walks in. I'm like, fuck, that was
I didn't
rude.
think you caught that.
Yes, immediately I caught it. That was immediate. I didn't say anything to you,
No.
but
This is our first time talking
I'm
about
like,
it.
I'm like, I felt so bad about that, right? But so I should have waited until she walked in, like you did.
Yeah.
But that's just it's part of who I am. But again,
We slept.
we slip.
Like, yeah, we're human.
But I'm aware of that, and that bothered me for the last 3 days. That bothered me. I'm like, dude, you should have waited. But it's what it is, right?
Now I guarantee you that the next couple of times you probably never do that again.
Nah,
But
I
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was just, But there has been times where I'm sure I've walked into a door, walked into a room without holding the door, and stuff like that. But I'm just super, I'm super intentional on that now because it's like, how would you want your mother to be treated?
Correct.
And so as soon as I personally start thinking like that, my antennas go up a lot. So yes, I'm definitely gonna be uber respectful. Yes,
I got that. I'm like,
said Apple Store. I knew exactly.
I'm like, man, but it is what it is. So next question, next thing I want to talk about is there's a theme out there about what a high value man is, right? A high value man. And it's a high value man. So this is the definition that I'm getting from the social medias, right?
Okay.
The TikToks
Social
and the
medias.
Instagrams and the Facebook social medias,
Right.
I'm getting that a high value man is a man who's over 6 foot, right?
This is social media.
Social media.
Social media is
Yep.
kind of running the world.
Yep.
Running or ruining one of the
Right.
two. Okay.
They are over 6 foot. They make over 6 figures. They're in shape, and they know who they are. These are the most desirable man on the planet, right?
Okay.
This is on the social medias, right? I'm keep saying that the social medias. So these are considered, kings, right? I was watching a clip from a podcast, and I think I sent it to you, where it was a female guest and a male guest, black man, and he's saying that I am a high value man because one, I'm a black man. I'm over 6 foot, and I make over six figures. That makes me a high value man. Now, in some world, the social medias are true. People take that as law, right? So her response was, yeah, I get that. You have all that. But a high value man also can communicate, also loves his girl, also loves his kid, also gives her space to be herself, also takes care of her and protects her and does all that. You know, that shut him up. Because you can have all the physical attributes, right? You can have the money and the cars. You can have all of that, right? Because just based on that first part, we're high value men, right? However, if you add in the emotional part, being able to communicate, being able to talk, being able to love and show respect for your girlfriend and hold space for your wife and be able to like right now, you're just talking to your daughter, right?
Yep.
And that's a true high value man that has everything, both the physical, the mental, the spiritual, has everything, right? So that's what I think the social medias are missing. Is because it's like it's not just the external and what you have in your account. Because this shit fades, bro. This shit it fades quick, right?
Just no matter how much you're in the gym, no matter
fades
how
quick.
much you're doing, it's gonna fade.
It's gonna fade.
It's fleeting.
So why not have both? So for me, I feel that that's a true high value man. A man that has both, not just one side.
Yeah, and more importantly, how about these social medias that say what a high value man are? I would love to know. A, you'll never know, but I would love to know. A, who's saying it? What if they are females?
No. What hey man? I can drop a name for you right now.
What do they? I'm all ears. If I'm making six figures, I might not have time to be present in my relationship.
True.
I might not have time to cater to how you feel because I'm making sure I got these six figures.
Right.
This was my baby before you.
Right.
So, I'm gonna pay this more attention because this is all I know. And you're an additive, but I'm not present for you. You're not a priority to me. Right. So if you tell a woman you're not a priority to me, that you might as well tell them, you might as well just leave right there and there.
Right.
Because women want to know that they don't have to be the top priority, but they need to know that they are a priority to you.
In your life,
yeah. And so I would say to the man that's over 6 feet, making six figures with 6 cars, 666. I don't necessarily find value in having it's money provides options. That's all it does.
Right.
Money doesn't define you. Money shouldn't define you. Money shouldn't make you shit on other people.
Right.
Money just gives you options to handle life.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So I would mind now, there's nothing wrong with saying that's what I would like, but I would like to work towards that together. Like I would for your mate to work on leveling up together.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because you guys are growing together. You guys are building a legacy together. And that makes you value each other and honor each other because you guys can take time and say, hey, look, we've been grinding for like the past 6 months. Like you've been working, we've been working, and we've missed each other for the past 3 months. Let's take a weekend, let's take a week off, and let's drive up to wherever, Napa or wherever. Let's take a trip and let's just focus on getting recentered. Let's get him recentered because we're gonna work. We're gonna lose focus from time to time. It's happened to all of us that get so focused and so with the blinders on that we focus on that one thing and we could potentially lose everything around us.
Right.
And until that happens to you, then you got to learn to compartmentalize and realize, okay, I'm going to have time for this and I'm going to have time for my family because that's what's most important. Yeah. When you ask somebody on their deathbed, like, what do you want? Do you wish you had more money? Or do you wish that you had more time to spend with your family?
Yeah.
10 times out of 10, they gonna fuck that money. The time with my family was the most important, and I didn't spend enough of it while I could have.
Yeah.
So I wish I had more time to spend there. So that whole, it's good to work on yourself, body, mind, and spirit, because you want to be better today than you were yesterday. But everything that you're doing is for yourself first. Then, the oh, you look good, that you just slimmed up. Well, that's for me. I'm doing this for me.
Right.
I'm not doing it for anyone else, because this is what makes me happy. So when you do that and you put yourself as a priority for your happiness, anybody else that comes into your life is an additive. They're going to add to your happiness, not dictate your happiness. So, yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah.
We work on ourselves.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you got to become better, become a better version of yourself.
Yep.
Every day. And just for the record, and I know I said it, but to be clear, I don't believe that those physical attributes make you a true high value man.
Right.
Right. Because I believe that anybody who knows himself, loves himself, knows others, and loves others, and is self-aware, no matter what your height and income is, you are a high value man, because it's rare. It's very, 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 very rare that one man has it all.
Right.
Has all of that.
Right. No.
And that's my intention.
Yeah.
Right. Is to have all that. What you got for us in closing?
No, I would say be careful. It's amazing how we don't. I'm not gonna allow anybody to talk to me that way. Don't talk to me that way. I'm big on respect. And we say these things to ourselves, but I would say most importantly, let's be intentional and let's be careful how we speak to ourselves.
Right.
The mind tends to play a lot of negative stories in our head, but we combat that by saying what you are. I am going to do this. I will be this. Mm-hmm. I am not this. Mm-hmm. I am not what someone who doesn't know me says that I am. Mm-hmm. I am this. Mm-hmm. I work every day on this. So to be just super intentional, not, I'm trying to be a better person, or I'm trying to, what I've learned in the past month, the word trying, and I had that in my lexicon for a long time, the word trying gives you an excuse to not do something.
Right.
So I'm being super intentional on not using the word trying so much, because it's just an excuse to not do something. Yeah. Just do it. It's the simplest, most phrase that's been used in the world is just do it.
Just do it.
So Nike selling 1 billion shoes and 1 billion everything just by those three.
Just by doing it, right?
Just do it. Just those 3 words.
Right.
So yeah, just do it. Just be super intentional on how you speak to yourself, and cautious in how you speak the negative things into your life.
Cool.
Yep.
Good one, bro. So that is the truth about him. So thank you guys for watching. So and every week I tell you guys, if this podcast is valuable to you and you know someone who can benefit from it, please please subscribe, please share, and leave us a comment, because your comments help us with future episodes.
Yep.
So until next week, guys, have a great week. Peace.